Hey, how's it going? So I took a week off because, I don't know, it was a stressful week. I didn't personally have anything going on, but I don't know, everything was just emotionally heightened, and I just needed to drop out. Hold on. So anyway, I was like, I'm not going to write anything, I'm not going to make a video, and then I did not make a video, and I did not write anything. I kind of started, and then, for whatever reason, I just haven't picked it back up, because I was, well, not for whatever reason, it was because I was like, take a break already. So, I did that, but I have some things on my mind, like, the word betrayal and the idea of it has come up all week. And it is Easter week. Today, is it still, what time is it? Okay, it's not still Easter. It is now Monday, but what does that say? Oh. So, you know, betrayal always comes up when Judas comes up. And so, I think everyone associates Judas with a traitor, someone who betrays you. But the thing is it wasn't really that. And what I can't remember is, did I learn this in Catholic school, or have I learned it subsequently when I've been able to look at, like, banned gospels and whatever, like hidden texts that were inconvenient for the ruling authorities because they, the information that they had in them that was so dangerous to like the ruling authorities was that it makes you aware of all kinds of ways that you're powerful, that the ruling authorities, even since the days of Judas, have been suppressing. Because people that are dependent on you are much easier to control, you know, and you can just manipulate them because you're the ruling authority. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're good or honest. So, here's what I'm not sure when I learned it, is that it was like it was just in my regular Bible studies that Jesus chose Judas to betray him. It was his plan. He told him to do it. I think Judas was reluctant at first, but when he understood why Jesus wanted him to do it, this is the crucial part. I guess he wanted him to do it so that he could demonstrate that you can be killed and even return from death, and that is symbolic on many levels, because it could just be the literal life after death, like just proving that death isn't really that big of a deal, and your soul is reborn, you know. Every time somebody is born, it's a reborn soul. Or maybe not every single time. I guess there's... I'm sure it's possible that, for whatever reason, not every soul... I guess not everyone has a soul. I'm not going to get into that. That's really complicated. But the point is that it was kind of an honor that Jesus chose Judas to betray him. And, you know, Judas agreed to do it, because that's how the story goes, right? But only after, I guess, he understood that Jesus chose him because he understood what Jesus had been preaching about the power of the personal, that, I mean, even with all of the knowledge and learning that there is available now, so many people are just not even interested in knowing about it, you know, it's too far out and wacky or something. But, you know, suppression. So, I have that on my mind, and I think, gosh, it's still like, I haven't been in church in a long time to hear a sermon, so I don't know how the story is being told, Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go find out. So the other thing is that, and this contributed to my wanting to take a week off, was that you may have noticed things are ramping up in the world. I tend to kind of keep my talking points to the United States, and so if you're here or if you're not here, even you may have noticed that our president is causing a lot of problems for a lot of people. He's just a problem bug. He can't help but spread his infection of problems. So, I understand for myself that it is important that I not spend a bunch of time getting sucked into the name-calling, characterization vortex where you're just spewing bile about people. And I understand that it has been frustrating, and things have happened that can just make you angry. Everything from like needless death and injury to, just pulling the rug out from under people, taking away a lot of the things that made this country like a place where you wanted to come and live, a place where if you are native to the place, we're used to certain functions in society, and now because we have the ruling authorities that think that every profit that can be made, every thing that is worth something is theirs, even if you or I produced it or did the work to make it happen, and should be compensated for doing the work. And then not just that, you should also get health care, not necessarily through your work, because you could change jobs. It should just be that we could have health care as Americans when we need it, like most of the other countries in the world allow their people to go and get healed when they need it, or checked out or whatever it is. But everything's so transactional here. It's like you gotta go through a check stand at every step of the way now. So, it's not as desirous to live here as it once was. Our immigration is just frightening, and I'm just imagining, because I'm in here. I'm in here walled in with that idiot wall at the border. And then also, we're just pariahs now. Like, no one has anything nice to say, hardly, about this country. And the more frustrated they are, they're like, we don't care if you didn't vote for him. Okay, thanks. I hope it doesn't happen this way in your country soon. I would never say that to you, but it would serve you right if it did, for being so, like, I'm just gonna throw away the part about this person actually is innocent of stuff, or these people, and just blanket blame everybody for this mess. It's like, you can certainly do that. I understand that frustration drives you to make decisions, but man, I mean, and I'm not saying I'm unaware of how terrible our country has been as, like, the biggest country in the world, to put it concisely. That changes. That used to be the British Empire. Remember that? Still feeling effects from that, the empire or former empire, because I don't know if everybody remembers King Charles's trip to Jamaica, when they couldn't wait to tell him where to go. For reasons, I'm sure. This is different, though, because, like I said, our guy is affecting the whole world adversely. Affecting minds negatively, bodies negatively. everything, financial systems. Like, I can't. Sorry. I apologize. That's all I can say. So, anyway, I was having a hard time not getting caught up in it and not, like, getting angry and frustrated myself to the point where when I was online, all I kind of wanted to do was just say angry stuff. And I know it works for some people, but not for me. If I get angry, it's crickets, man. Crickets and tumbleweeds. So, I did not go online, but I just was having a different attitude about it. And I didn't want to add to, I didn't want to feed the beast, as they say, like, if you align yourself with that kind of crap, it only makes it stronger. And so, I want to align myself with averting that kind of crap, even if it's only on the personal level of myself. Okay, so, I pull a couple cards, and I have one from the Declarations of Mary Magdalene, and it says, "For thou that fear Mary Magdalene the Christ, fear the true powers of the divine feminine and thy sacred heart." So I don't know that, like, the current administration specifically fears Mary Magdalene, but I know they don't like women. They don't like women that are effective, smart, beautiful or not from their perspective, because they got a lot of rules about what looks are supposed to be, along the lines of good looking and not good looking, but that's a whole other weird avenue that's happening right now. I ain't participating in that at all. But they fear women and don't like women because, they want to suppress you so bad as a woman. They want to make you, like, infirm, incapable, emotional, can't do anything, when that's ridiculous. I wonder how many men that are so anti-women have, like, a single mother and 6 siblings, Like, that is not a weak person. That is someone that busted her ass to keep her kids clothed and fed and housed. Like, that is a superpower. You know how many men fucking just walk away? Sorry, excuse my language. But they just walk away from the whole thing. Like, yeah, he has some responsibility in this, but I'm not gonna, like, maintain it. I'm out of here. And it's, like, not unusual at all. And you can put a race on it if you want, but it's pretty universal. And, that's separate from the woman thing, but I'm just saying, you can try and diminish us all you want, but eventually that's gonna turn, the tide is gonna turn against that kind of thing. And also, the worst thing about it is, some people might think when you say divine feminine with capital D and capital F, that is something that lives, a spirit. The spirit of that lives in everyone, male or female. So it's less about physical, genetic type gender things than it is about like a spiritual state, really. And it's powerful. Otherwise, they wouldn't want it suppressed. And also, I think that whatever it is that I feel, okay, so what I'm feeling is like they feel like they can't live up to it. The ones that want to, be against women and suppress their rights and movements and everything, and like how you gonna look and who you gonna talk to, and like that's not about the women, okay? And I feel like there's lots of that sort of shading that happens, particularly with our current administration. There's a lot of misogyny and chauvinism and just plain ugly behavior toward women in that administration. And okay, I don't want to go into like all of the psychological. I'm not qualified to, but I can sure notice some stuff that looks crazy. But it also says that the divine feminine is part of your sacred heart. Sacred heart. That has a particular meaning, sacred heart, with these cards, but the heart is so much more than like a piece of red paper cut out into that like incorrect cartoon shape. It's more than just the physical sort of meat of a heart. A heart has its own intelligence. Like, it literally has a type of brain. And so it also is part of, I think, your sort of divine self, divine masculine, divine feminine. You know, when you're particularly healthy, that's joined as a whole. And I feel like it's a strong foundation to hold your sacred heart, which also does the bodily functions. And you may have noticed that your heart, you feel stuff there when you're like sad, you know? So yeah, there's an intelligence there. And I feel like this is just talking about like this fear of all of these qualities is a turning away from themselves. And it's almost like, good luck telling this batch. I'm just gonna qualify this that, well, let me just say, on the one hand, they have this woman-hating thing, but then on the other hand, they hate the drag queens and they hate the cross-dressing and anything masculine reflecting anything feminine, but they're all, not all, don't do that, there seems to be a plurality of them that have some kind of off-center, according to their morals, proclivities behind the scenes. So they're marching around pretending this one side of invention that does it even really exist? Who knows? It's an interesting. We live in interesting times. Okay, so I also have two cards from the Starseed. What's it called? Oracle deck, and the first one is Inner Earth. Okay, I'm sensing a theme. So the first one is Inner Earth. Let me consult the manual here and see what it says about the Inner Earth. But I can tell you what I feel like it's about is your personal inner landscape. But let's see. Okay. So the subtitles are, "You'll survive this." We will, though. You'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. Well, when things come to a crashing end, an abrupt halt, or a long-taking halt, eventually it is going to be the end of the end, and a new beginning is going to take its place. That's just the natural order of things. Okay, Inner Earth, also known as Agartha, is believed to be a hidden subterranean world within the planet itself. Many ancient cultures mention it in their stories. It's said that some of the beings of ancient lost lands such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Ayavarta went there to underground worlds. Tibetan Buddhism refers to the secret mythical city Shambhala, which is thought to be located in the Himalayas. Many have searched for inner earth in the physical world, but without success. So the mystery continues. Is it a place that exists in the physical, or on another level of consciousness? I'm going to say yes to the other level of consciousness factor. In addition to all of the others, there are solutions beyond what you can perceive. Surprising outcomes to your problems and situations. Resolutions that are in the best interests of all involved. If you find yourself facing an obstacle or feeling stuck and have no idea what to do, you're being reassured that there is a way out. You'll survive this and things will work out. I mean, that also is the natural order. The spiritual things, the videos that I watch, they often say, think of whatever emotional storm is happening in the moment, anger or sadness, reaction to the outside world, whatever it is. It's always like, it advises, hey, this is a storm. Like, just like any storm, it is going to blow over and end. So, yeah, like, that's just how things go. If you're stuck in a rut, do something to shake up the energy and shift your thinking. Try something you wouldn't normally do. Soon you'll see that whole new worlds of solutions are available. Things that were previously beyond your focus will present themselves. Helpful people, signs from the universe, and support in both expected and unexpected ways are on their way to you. But first, you need to do something different to shift your focus so you can receive them. Starseed Soul Inquiry. What can you do to shift your energy or your outlook? Well, I did something. I decided to stop doing anything for a week and just let all of the systems just sort of take a break, because I start feeling like I have to do this. There's no boss but me. So anyway, there was something else that I was kind of struck by here. Where is it? You didn't come to Earth to be passive. I don't even remember reading that. I don't remember reading any of this. Oh, that's because it's a totally different page. Well, I'll be darned. Come back. So it said, try something you wouldn't normally do. Soon you'll see that whole new worlds of solutions are available. Things that were previously beyond your focus will present themselves. So that made me think of that whole thing where you have a problem and you kind of really need a solution post-haste, but you are having trouble coming up with it, and you exhaust every means that you can think of, so you just have to give up and sleep on it. And it works. It does work. You might doubt it until the next day when you wake up and you just have given your mind permission to stop worrying and bugging it and hassling it and feeling like you have to achieve some things. Like, who is telling you to do all of that? You might have a job or something, but this is something else. This is like your inner career. You're dealing with you. You are dealing with you. You are in control in there. Oh, so, but yeah, like, I slept on it. I slept on it for a week. And I do feel better, except you may be able to hear that I seem to have got another upper respiratory infection, so hooray. Anyway, so the other card is water your garden. And that is, to me, the same as what I say quite often. I've been saying it for years. Tend your garden, as in, mind your own business. If you're not minding your own business, you're neglecting whatever you got waiting for you at home. And that's what I call your garden, because you might live in an apartment building with no, like, just like grass strips around it. You don't really have a garden, but it's a concept. And it's like something you do the same as you would in meditation. You sort of visualize things so that it constitutes your version of the proverbial garden. Not the proverbial Garden of Eden, but just like your place that is home, that has all of the things you need to make it beautiful and livable, and your safe space, your happy place. So, oh gosh, did I even show the Inner Earth card? So there you go. And that is like kind of Easter, because on the third day, well, the story's actually, now I wish I didn't even say anything about that, because that is a convoluted story right there. But on the third day, the women went in to see to Yeshua's body, like clean it in the custom of the Jewish people, but they have to do it like the next day. So I don't know what, like I said, it's convoluted. And I'm not an expert on this stuff, but when I look at that, I see coming out of having taken the time to go away and replenish yourself, or to go away and reset, or to go away and meditate, or allow yourself to just not have like your normal boundaries when it comes to like your meditating. Anyway, so here is the Water Your Garden card. Just gonna have you get a look at that, and that actually looks like a nice place to be. Nice hot spring. So if you can conjure up anything like this idea in your home, I mean, I think that's what we all do, but I think sometimes that we don't, what is the word? We don't claim it as much as we could. I've been where I am so long. Longest I've been at any place, really. Like, it's been more than a couple of decades now. And so I've had plenty of time to, like, grow into this place, and I would like to say it's set up exactly as I would like it, but every time I get it set up exactly as I would like it, they want to come in here and do some kind of work, which means I gotta move everything. And so I find stuff years later. Still, I do have, most of what I need is where I want it to be. And, everything has a place, and that makes me happy. And it's comfortable, and it's warm when I need it to be, and it's cool when I need it to be. Like, I really have had the time to make the place my own, and that does wonders for me, like for my mind and my heart and whatever else I need. So that to me is tending my garden. Okay, let's see what the book has to say about tending or watering the garden. Oops. It's almost at the end. Okay. So the subtitles are nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. Well, that makes it sound like a spa. And, I mean, that, I don't know what spa that would be. That'd be pretty fantastic. I imagine it would be very expensive. But again, I feel like it's like a metaphor for, you know, however you visualize that spa looking like. Okay, so it says, Earth is a seasonal planet, and as such, you're a seasonal being. Cyclic. You can't be on and in full bloom month after month, day after day. You're strongly being called to put on the brakes. I heard that call. You're being called to put on the brakes, rest and refuel. To take a moment to restock and replenish and slow right on down. Your body is the only body you're given, and it needs to be respected as such. You're being called to take responsibility for your well-being, to find your health and body first. I know it can feel like time is running out, and if there are urgent things that simply can't wait. Oh, sorry. I know it can feel like time is running out, and as if there are urgent things that simply can't wait. That drive to just do it. It's like, for me personally, the only person cracking that whip on that stuff is me. I can somehow convince myself to slow the F down. Where was I? However, if you keep pushing on, soon fatigue will set in. This way of living isn't sustainable. If anyone continues to race through life, eventually they will reach exhaustion, and it'll take longer to recover than it would have done to rest. Immune system disorders and mystery illnesses are becoming more common because we're putting too much pressure on our bodies to keep up with the instantaneous pace of modern life. And also the food, because we grow it so fast, it doesn't have time to develop all of the nutritional value that it could have. And so we're getting food, like, is either hyper-processed, so, God, how much of it has actual food in it? So many things can be reproduced chemically because it's cheaper or faster? I don't know, but that's what they give us. And then, you know, we want like a watermelon when it's not watermelon season, so we have stuff that's traveled a long way, and then it's got stuff chemically done to it to make it look like that's not the case. I mean, we're eating so much weird garbage anymore. I'm thinking the mystery illnesses and things have more than just this component that this thing is talking about. Anyway, sidetrack concluded. This way of living isn't sustainable. I already read that. How are you being asked to put on the brakes? How are you being called to put on the brakes? To rest, restore, and rejuvenate. When was the last time you took a holiday or had a full weekend, day, or afternoon off? Look after your precious body and mind. Give yourself enough time to recover when you find yourself running on reserves. There's enough time. Life will bend toward you when you do. Starseed Soul Inquiry. What is your body yearning for? I'll tell you what mine is yearning for right now is some juice, and I don't have any. I'm going to have to go out. I will mask up because I don't want to get my germs all over people. When I had COVID the last time I had it, well, the first time, I don't know if that's what this is. What I do know is I woke up this morning feeling like I had been run over by a tractor. Wait, no, not a tractor, a tank. Because it just felt like treads ran over me and just... You know what a tractor tread looks like. It's got like a belt, and it has like bars on it so it can grip the ground. And then inside of the belt, there are like gears, and so it felt like I had been run over by a tank, because every traction bar and gear felt like it just hit all of, I don't know, I just felt like a wreck. And I was like, no way, this is not just waking up tired, this is waking up with your ass kicked. And I didn't understand. And so I'm just going about my day thinking that was that was kind of extreme. Yeah, I don't know. And then as the day lengthened, I realized, okay, I have been, well, I was sneezing. That was the other thing too. And that's what when I get a cold, I don't normally really sneeze like I was sneezing, like I'm still sneezing sometimes. But when I got COVID, that was happening, like right at the beginning a lot. And I'm like, no, I don't want it again. It's not, I don't care, I mean, I do care about being sick, but, I'd rather not. I would rather not have, like, these long-term effects and whatever, but it just means that I can have no help. Like, the caregivers will not come. And when you're sick is when you need them, damn it. And so I don't know if I don't know what I have, because I don't have any more COVID test things, because the government doesn't help you with free ones anymore, and I don't have money. And yeah, I really want to go to another store all sick. I don't want to go to any store, but I didn't get cat food when I was out, and I am out of cat food in the house, so I'm gonna have to venture out tomorrow. I really don't want to. Anyway, why am I just sitting here talking and talking? Thank you and good night. I don't even know what I'm doing.